Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is a regular on Open Conversation and also a political analyst. He is none other but Nze. Nze. Nze, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians.
And I also have with me on Open Conversation Jamala Living Gifting Esquire, a legal practitioner and also a political analyst. Jamala, it's been a while and I'm so happy to have you back on Open Conversation.
I'm trying to look at the time whether it's still morning. Good morning.
It's morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
And then,
thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. And then on to the story. All Progressive Congress Ward Executive Committee in Obubra, Cross River State, has indefinitely suspended Honorable Ovat Abo, a member of the State House of Assembly representing Obubra 1, of allegations of assaulting his wife. The decision was conveyed in a letter signed by Ward Chairman Stephen Ebopo and Secretary Igirigiri Sam, citing the lawmakers' alleged misconduct and failure to respond to multiple invitations from the party. The committee referenced provisions of the APC constitution stating that the alleged act violates both party values and the Violence Against Persons Prohibitions Act 2015, which domesticated in Cross River State. It stressed that such behaviors undermine public trust and damages the party's reputation, adding that the APC cannot condone actions inconsistent with discipline, accountability, and respect for the rule of law. Abo's suspension takes immediate effect, barring him from all party activities pending the outcome of a full investigation by a disciplinary committee. The ward executives also accused him of neglecting party engagements since assuming office. This development follows an earlier indefinite suspension by the Cross River State House of Assembly over the same allegations, although his wife has reportedly distanced herself from the claims and the lawmaker has issued an apology. Nze, let me start with you on this one. What is your take on this story?
It ignites hope in me that Nigeria is not completely a wasted ground. I commend that chairman's ingenuity. I commend his sense of reasoning and his interest in morality. You know, if this kind of, punishment is being meted on those dishonorables who present themselves to Nigerians as honorable, I believe that most of the people who go about, flaunting their disregard for rule of law, disregard for human respect and all that, will be brought down to a minimal level. It is not just enough that Ovat is suspended as a party man. I would have been happier if he is recalled from the State House. But if this thing is happening in Cross River State, will it happen in River State? Will it happen in Ebonyi State? Will it happen in Kaduna State? That's the question. We had a news of one of the so-called honorable member who assaulted the wife in public place, in the market.
Where?
In Ebonyi State.
Okay.
It's all over. It was all over in the news. And he still went about, his shoulders high. And nothing happened. In fact, at the end of the day, I don't know whether the woman later left or she stayed back due to sometimes when you look at one's background, in as much as I'm not completely attaching this to that, but when some of these people that were privileged, they were privileged, not that they were born into golden spoon or whatsoever, or they had a background that placed them where they are today, but they were privileged by God's grace to emerge as a leader that have access to the flow of money. They'll forget where they are coming from. Most often, when they marry from a poor background, considering the level of their societal status, as at the time of the marriage, you see that when eventually they become rich, so to speak, or influential in the society, they will forget where they are coming from. But they will still view their wives as coming from that background. And that same mind reflects in the way they treat Nigerians. You went to that community primary school, community secondary school, you went to one of the federal universities, and today you are an honorable member based on the nomenclature we attribute to you. You think that your children should not go to that primary school that produced you, that secondary school that produced you. You either put them in a highbrow private, you send them abroad to go and study. When they study abroad, they are groomed by a different environment. You bring them back to Nigeria to lord over who? So I think that the action of the lawmaker in Cross River State and the subsequent reaction by the party chairman, the ward party chairman, which I believe is his kinsman. I believe, in fact, that action should be applauded by all Nigerians. And if possible, let those at the National Assembly as well follow suit.
All right.
And when, in fact, it is unlawful. Wife battering, to me, is against God. So apart from the law of the country, you know, that speaks against domestic violence, and why should you even beat your wife? Are you not the same with her?
All right. Very
it's
well.
true that women could be annoying sometime, but you know, you voluntarily went in for her. In as much as she could be annoying, there are other things she does for you. One major thing she does is that she made you a father. Without her, you can't be a father.
All right.
You just be an okobro that is roaming the street.
All right, Nze. Jamala, what do you make of this?
On a more lighter note,
Yes.
I don't know whether okoporo is one of the
Okoboro means
Don't interpret it. Don't interpret it. I want Jamala to go home with that. Let that be the portion he will go home with.
Jamala is not Igbo, and he should understand the meaning. He should understand the meaning. Just like
He should have
every
asked me off camera.
Just like no, but for the sake of our viewers as well.
listening to us.
Of course, Okoboro
Yes.
in Igbo language means a man who is of marriageable age, way past marriageable age, and has refused to get married. So,
Or could not get married.
or could not. They call him Okoboro. Most times in Igbo culture, the kingsmen marry a wife for him and take the wife to his
If he
house.
shows interest.
Most times, even if he doesn't show interest, they will marry a wife for him.
So it's more like being stereotyped.
Possibly, I don't know.
Lawrence, I will take a different view from
What Nze
has said.
All right.
Yes. My thinking is a little bit more of political
Okay.
than the morality
Behind the act.
The act, yes.
All right.
Is it for the same reason that the State House of Assembly suspended?
Yes, it's for the same reason. The act of
The-
the was taken up by the leader of the wives of the assembly people, right?
Okay, the wife is from a different constituent.
Yeah, I don't. What happened was that when this thing broke open, the woman was assaulted and it went viral.
Yes.
And in that State House of Assembly, the wives of the assembly members, the head of the wives of the assembly members,
Now again, like
took up the matter.
First Ladies Association,
Yes,
now
that
Wives
kind
of
situation.
Honorables Association
Yes,
took it upon themselves.
Yes,
All right.
and presented it officially before the assembly.
That notwithstanding, the second underlying reason why they suspended Mr. Hovat, Honorable Hovat, is for refusing to participate
In political
activities. To me, my personal reasoning, that is one of the reasons, or the principal reasons that they suspended him. They wouldn't have added that of the domestic violence if that has not gone viral.
They built on the domestic violence to suspend him.
Yes, that is
the major reason for you
the major
is
reason
the
is
lack of
political.
All right.
Political, elections are coming. We are about entering into primaries.
And probably his contender is lobbying.
It's lobbying, and maybe one or two persons are now getting close to the new governor. It's the new governor that will bring in the next set of House of Assembly members. And so the political calculations may not be favorable to him, but how do we remove him before so that the national APC will not come and say all first-time assembly members are automatic tickets. So some persons are thinking aloud, and they used one of his weaknesses, which he has been known for, domestic violence in his own home. And they used it against the wife. Have come out to distance herself that.
Yes.
And if she denies, can that be a ground again from removing? The world of AI-dominated videos.
She said the video was AI. It wasn't.
I'm not even got to. So the wife has exonerated the man. So why then suspend him again? But
why the apology?
The apology.
The man apologized.
The man apologized, assuming without considering that I'm wrong. If the accuser said I'm innocent, and I said, okay, now that you have said I'm innocent, assuming I offended you, I am sorry. Can you still
that admission in that instance was admission of guilt.
It's not admission of guilt. It's admission of peace.
Admission of peace.
Yes, it's admission of peace. The wife has said, my husband did nothing to me.
Is it possible that she was coerced?
She may not have been coerced.
But is it possible? Is there a possibility of being, okay, not coercion,
family issues are issues that both a wise man and a wise woman tread it with caution. Because the outsiders will come and speak, give their reason, settle, give this one blame and the rest. The both of you will retire back to the house. And that is where you settle your differences. So I will not see it as being coerced, or it was being the same thing forced to go about it. She may look at wisdom. Wisdom will prompt every woman, good woman, Deborah, every good Deborah, to retrieve, admit, and swallow the guilt or the weaknesses of the husband, including
domestic violence.
I'm not saying the domestic violence. I am seriously against it.
All right.
One of the reasons why I can ask a couple, a woman to leave or a man to leave, is where there is threat to life, and that is domestic violence. No matter how slight it begins, because if you leave it the first day and occur the second time, the third time you will not know what will happen. You will really not know what will happen. So for overt story. The political reasons supersedes the moral reasons. In the National Assembly, when Natasha was being harassed up and down, the senator in Ebonyi, what is that?
Ebonyi.
Yes. The kind of languages they used at Dora,
Natasha
and the other lady, woman.
Ireti.
Not Ireti. There's this Obi Ezekwesili.
Yes.
What is more immoral in that man's conduct than this other one? Now, of what section of the APC constitution does that particular act violate? They said it's against the provisions of their constitution. What section of the constitution?
I think 140 and 143.
That talks about what?
Well, I didn't read through.
That talks about what? So it is pure a political witch hunt. And it has gone to the root. Very soon they will suspend him from, that's what they're doing now to this senator from FCT. They have used unknown persons to suspend and the matter is in court. They have gone to court. What happened in Rivers State during the times of, what is the name of this former PDP chairman, Uche Secondus? What happened to Adams Oshomole in Edo? What happened to former PDP chairman in Benue is the trend. It is now in the FCT. All the permutations happening is because of 2027 elections. There is no one that has a moral consciousness to suspend anybody in any political party. None.
Okay.
Not even the world leaders. None. There is no morality in their politics. So they should not use a domestic activity. What is happening in their own houses? It could be worse. So it is politics.
So now, if I understand what you're saying, while you condemn in totality...
Yes, I condemn in totality. I'm an advocate of that.
While you condemn in totality the act of domestic violence...
Yes, it is not the basic reason.
You're saying that it is not the basic reason.
Yes.
And you have stated that nowhere in APC constitution.
I'm asking, I'm not saying there
okay,
is.
you're saying that you're questioning that constitution that they are put in, whether
yes, where that particular act exists, or is there an omnibus
conduct of members, and there
is an omnibus
setting precedents with regards to certain APC members
yes.
that have also acted in
yes.
unruly manner.
Yes.
And they were not
that the same morality course did not follow them.
And they recall a senator that has a very open debacle with the wife. Yes. But nothing was done as well because he's a ranking senator.
The other senator that dealt with the bold guy is from
yes.
Abia. Is it
but he apologized. The very first senator from Abia State.
Yes.
Yes, he apologized, and then I think they did settle. Well, but regardless of that, if they are to follow the, like you have said, if they are to follow the actions of this party, they would have suspended him regardless of the apology.
Regardless of the apology, yes.
All right.
Now, there is no morality in what
let us look at the timeline of the suspension, because when you were talking about political undertone, I was thinking of the timeline this suspension came up. This suspension came up right before APC convention, which comfortably removes him from being a delegate in that convention, from even attending at all.
No, see.
And that will stop him from contesting primaries.
No, the convention is for party's leadership. We're talking about his primaries that will come thereafter.
Okay. As an assembly member, he cannot be a delegate in that convention.
As an assembly member, is a qualified, I think, it's leadership of the House. Mm-hmm. Leadership of the House, I think, automatic delegates. Mm-hmm. Now, if he was elected as a local government delegate from his own local government, then it will affect him. Okay. But if by virtue of the constitution of APC, they say all House of Assembly members are automatic delegates, the suspension notwithstanding, the suspension is only to the effect that he cannot participate in his ward.
They said party activities.
But he is a national delegate. That is the question.
Suspension is not done at the national level, it's done at the ward level.
It follows from down to the top. This suspension must be ratified by the states, from the local government to the states. It's not a ward executive per se. His level is above that of the world. He operates at the state level. So for you to suspend him, yes, the route is the world.
But it has to
it must be ratified by the local government.
And then the states.
And then the states.
Okay.
And if it is a national officer or a national assembly, then it can now move to the national, because the party has given them the privilege of becoming state caucus of the political party.
Okay.
So you can suspend me from the ward. I agree, that is the route. But it will not affect my national duties until the state has recognized my suspension at the ward level. Then the state will also ignite that suspension. Don't
you think this is a precedent that it's quite important, right, that political parties should adopt when issues, because, I mean, if you are elected as a representative of the people, it means that your character as a person should be above bar, right?
I said no political office holder has a moral right to suspend another for an immoral act.
Now, I'm asking a different question. What if this should be a precedent?
See, the
to deter political office holders from...
The ought in the society is what we are looking at.
Okay.
What ought to be. If their reasons on morality is clean, then it's a noble idea. It's a noble action.
Or if it's a winch hunt?
It is not clean now. Ab initio is not clean. And he who comes to equity must come with two clear hands. Equity is morality. The equity we talk about, the morality we talk about is equity. So if you are coming to morality, you should come with clean hands. How is your home? The Bible says before you remove the debts on someone.
But if you're waiting for when everybody will get it right, that's where we will not even start in the first instance. But I am saying, moving forward, don't you think that this should serve as a good precedent? And this should be properly implied.
Let's not dwell on this.
Because I'm looking at regardless of the political undertone.
Yes.
Domestic violence and gender-based violence at that. I don't want to make it to look like because I'm a woman, that's what I'm saying. Well, maybe because I'm a woman.
You can't run away from it.
The fact remains
the feminist nature in you will never allow you that not to be biased.
The fact remains that, right, there was violence, and it was perpetrated by a lawmaker who is supposed to represent his people, who character-wise should have been blamed in that instance.
Ideally.
So don't you think that this should even be part of the things that, or let me say political constitution, whatever political parties have, their constitution this thing should be ingrained in conduct of members of political parties?
You see, the omnibus, I was talking about the omnibus clause in political constitution. Any member that behaves in a manner that brings disrepute to the party is a ground for disciplinary action.
So one can say that they are right to suspend him.
Yes, that is why I said the omnibus ground will allow them to suspend this person.
All right.
But Jesus said to the accusers, if you have not committed this kind of sin before, be the first to cast a stone.
Well, I hope this. I hope this omnibus law continues to take effect moving forward, especially when it comes to issues of domestic violence against women and children.
It should be tried in open court.
Well, the party has chosen. The party is not the judiciary.
See.
Can the party try him?
The party cannot try him. But
the party is saying that he has refused to honor invitations.
The party, that is another angle I'm looking at his conduct.
All right.
Because he who fears no, who has committed no offense, fears no allegation. Accusation, so they say. Now, why are you running away from the party if the party has called you to do so? The party, is it the ward? Who are the members of the ward that want to discipline him?
Maybe he's looking down on the ward.
That is the truth.
Maybe he's looking down on the ward.
Who are the leaders of the ward? The chairman, people he nominated. Are people he nominated? It could be maybe one of the leaders of the ward in that.
We should even make it easier for him to lobby his way out of this.
You want him to lobby? You don't want to be found guilty. We
are looking at two things.
First, he has to be tried, convicted, then the party can take an action on that. As it stands now, if that
suspension is challenged,
yeah, he will win.
Because he
has not been proven to have committed those acts.
But the party can argue that he was given fair hearing. He refused to take advantage of it.
I agree. But so, the party on its own is not a constituted authority to investigate the commission of that offense. So what the party should have done is to report him to the appropriate quarter. Let them try, invite him. Once that is done, then they can now say, based on these findings of the court, you are therefore deemed unworthy to be part of us again.
Dishonorable.
Yes, to be part of us. Then they can wield the hammer.
All right, very well. Nze, before we move on.
I will pick it from where Jamala presented equity and fairness. The man in question has a social contract with the people and an obligation to defend the morality of the people of his constituency. And today he is a lawmaker, and he can batter his wife, perhaps children, if we want to add that, even though it is not in the news. If he is proposing a law that protects women and children, the vulnerable in the society, what type of law do you think he would produce? Look, I still commend the chairman, the ward chairman of APC in that ward.
Cross River State,
in that ward in Obobra. The truth is this: something happened in the long past when a woman disrespected the husband, who by then was a king. And when the nobles gathered, they said to the man, to the king, "Do you love this woman so much? And you wish to forgive her, or perhaps cover her wrongs. But know ye that media has carried this. And when other women will hear it, they will disrespect their husbands, and they quote the attitude or activity of your queen. I'm talking about Queen Vashti and King Xerxes. What this honorable did, we have seen it just as Barrister Jamala had tried to use his legal expertise, to back up all the, block the loopholes. But there are holes you can't block against the flood. Now, we've seen senators, we've seen ministers, we've seen commissioners, we've seen
governors.
Okay, let me not go governor because I cannot mention one exactly for now.
We've seen past governors now.
But we've seen men who represent the people, who should be influencing the people, mess up in their homes. And they will just, wave it, dismiss it with a wave of hand. Just as Jamala said that no law, no constituency or assembly has right, or even the Senate, to suspend a lawmaker for a moral act. If you cannot be suspended for a moral act, why then are you being referred to as an honorable? What makes you honorable? Where is the equity there? Where is the fairness? So I believe that what happened, also I still believe that God helped to bring out the activities of Honorable Lovat in order to showcase what most women suffer in the houses of their rich husbands, supposedly rich husbands. You see that the assembly, the wives of the assembly members have seen this action earlier.
And for them to take
and
action means
they brought it and insisted on their husbands that this man must be suspended so that we can be protected. Now, he was suspended and maybe later recalled, and he went in. See, do you know that when we talk about domestic violence, that one you see that goes viral might just be one of the least that a woman had endured in the house. There was something that happened one day. I was angry with my wife, and I've not lifted my hand for once. And why I will not do that, no matter the level of anger, is because of the title, that I'm carrying. Yes, that's number one. Because first, I'm a human, I'm prone to anger, and I can decide to act. But for the fact that I carry this title, pastor, I can't do it. Which I believe that if Ovat has sense, he should have known that he's carrying a title of an honorable member. He travels the street with siren and things like that, and convoy. He should have at least heard it. So I had an altercation with my wife. We talked about something. I got angry and I spoke, in such a language. And she just folded herself by one corner of the bed while I was sitting on the chair, foaming. And after a little while, she just, spoke in a very low tone. She said, "Why are you dealing with me like this?" Only that statement was enough. I was broken. Why are you dealing with me like this? I didn't beat you. I only spoke my mind. I only expressed my dislike for what happened. And she felt I was doing. I know that somehow that she could use that as, if I may say, a psychological view, means of quietening me. But it worked. Coming to the area where the barrister is trying to, create it into a political witch hunt or whatsoever, because I believe that he is the one creating this one. It is not in the news.
It is
but
in
it
the
is
news,
good.
It's in the news.
That is a political witch hunt.
One of the things.
Let me put us through. I'm coming.
One of the things they said is that he does not attend political activities.
As an addendum.
Okay.
It's not an
addendum.
Not an addendum.
Check it. We can still bring this. You're a lawyer, I'm not. But we can still bring this and put it side by side. At the end of the day, we now begin to check the weight of each of the allegations. You understand?
Because he has been failing to attend political meetings for a long time.
Now, that is something that might, call for an investigation or whatsoever. But I think that where we try to create the entire scenario as a witch hunt, political witch hunt, we now have to bring out the reasonability of a man who is representing a people, who knows the timing we are in, and you cannot hold yourself, then you're a slave to your emotions.
Political. What would
now,
say?
You know that.
If I may ask, this statement you just made now, one would say to a large extent, for someone who is predisposed to domestic violence and has seen acts of violence even in the assembly, checking the timing might not be really it, because we have witnessed in assembly, let's not even go too far. In River State House of Assembly, a lawmaker used a mace on another lawmaker. And after that fight, one of them had to be flown out of the country. One of them fell very sick. See, the thing is, over time, we have seen on National Assembly, live television, we've seen members go at each other. I mean, physical, you know, and there have been no consequences. And probably this domestic violence is probably one too many. You know, I'm just looking at both perspectives. For the wife to have come out to cry out, she has had it up to here, because most times women that are married to political figures, they endure so much, and they turn to so many vices to keep themselves sane. So for a woman who is married to a lawmaker to come out to cry, and again, for the wives of these lawmakers to take it upon themselves to ensure that something is done about this particular one, means that there have been conversations around domestic violence ongoing in her marriage.
Connecting to that.
Ongoing to her. And probably this time around, they have decided that enough is enough. I'm just looking at it this way.
You are just assuming.
Yes. I am just assuming.
Yes.
I'm also speaking. No, hold on.
Been stated that this
Jamala,
will be the first. So if it happens.
Jamala,
yes.
I will speak as a woman because I know how women behave and I know how women act. And society, your fellow women will advise you not to speak out. That's the truth. Your fellow women will advise you not to speak out. And these wives of senators, wives of lawmakers, they are in a group chat. They have their own association. For them to come out to take action on a particular marriage, to intervene on a particular marriage, probably for them it has gotten up to this point. But just like Jamala said, there might be political undertone to this suspension.
That is where I stand in the
there might be not with me, with Jamala.
Yeah.
There might be political there might be political undertone, because just like he liked to write this, and I'm looking at the timing of this suspension. And Jamala said something that was very important. He said that it may happen that at the National Convention, first timers, right, will be given automatic ticket. And if that happens, as long as he was not suspended when that statement was made, he's automatically returning to the assembly. And there is also possibility that there are people who have interest in that seat.
There are automatically, there are
candidates, right?
All these things are assumptions.
Now, when it comes to you, when it comes to Jamala, it's an assumption. When it comes to,
see, that's what I'm saying.
Both of you are dismissing the argument on the ground of some assumption.
You know, I was holding the floor when you interjected.
But you have heard it for too long now.
No, no, you can't be that unjust. You can't be that unjust.
Jamala actually does have a point in this one.
No, he does. Because you can't be that unjust. I believe that our viewers will actually give result to this. But however, let me come back down to where we are saying that because of the timing. I remember I talked about timing.
Yes.
Igbo people says that anybody that is surrounded by enemies watches over his life. If this honorable is intelligent enough to know, having been in the assembly, in the house, and knowing the game, the political game that goes on, he should have controlled his
But if he's not a first-time offender and has been getting away with it, what is it? How would he supposed to have known?
That's what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying. A rabbit that crosses its path in the bush, on the day that trap will catch it, it will not know. It will still go on the same kind of journey it usually goes, and it will not return.
Right.
So this one that happened to this Honorable VAT, to me, it's an apple. In fact, I will keep on commending that local government chairman. Even if this will deny him his right of return back to assembly. I think I will uphold that because you didn't. If you were wise enough, you shouldn't have done this, knowing fully well that there are people who might be playing the card to outsmart you, and you are still behaving as if nothing is happening. You just be like Hiroshi when they are telling him that something was happening. He said there are rumor mongers and things like that. Where is he today? If he had listened, he would have saved himself. And I believe that other leaders, other policy makers in the system, other political office holders, whether political office or any position of leadership you find yourself, first be accountable to yourself, then accountable to your family, and accountable to the people you represent.
I think, sorry, just
Jamala,
if you
go ahead.
I think what Pastor Nze is saying is that he's convicting the man before the trial.
There is no trial in the first place.
That's the point.
If the matter is not in court, to the best of my knowledge.
See, he just heard it from one side.
Probably if the matter was in court, if this man had challenged his suspension, the political party would not have suspended him based on a matter that is in court.
It is now that you can challenge the process, the procedures adopted. You see, I've been privileged to handle one or two political cases. I know how these politicians behave. In the write-up, you said the party said he has been invited several times. Don't be surprised that no single invitation was given to him.
All right.
It is when they are preparing to defend their case, they will ask the secretary to go and write and backdate and stamp. So don't just hear one side and convict the person. Also take a look at the both sides of the coin. So you are condemning him morally as if he has done it, and therefore everything about him should go down. No. If I have done these things, what are the legal ways of me being punished? Go through that route. Once you are done with that route, every other thing will take place, because if one is convicted for any offense, and you are honorable, the right of remaining in that seat is taken away from you. And you will move. So why are we jumping? If it is not political, why are we going to this way? The wives of the honorables, as they said in their forum, should have reported the matter to the commissioner of police. Immediately file a criminal charge against him. Prosecute him. Once that is done, he's found guilty in the nearest magistrate court. You can't
when the wife who is a star witness has changed her testimony.
So on whose accusation are you coming to try me?
If so how are we sure the woman was not coerced?
She told you she was coerced.
Of course, you have also mentioned AI videos.
If the complainant says, sorry, what I said yesterday at the police station, I never knew what I did last night. And it influenced my movement all through the day. I'm withdrawing it. I never said so. Let it be seen that I never said so. Can you accuse me again or punish me on that statement?
All right, that is food for thought. I'm leaving it up to our viewers. Barrister Jamala is coming from the angle of the law.
The law, yes.
And I'm coming from the angle of morality.
Morality is
coming from the angle of morality.
There is no universal morality.
One would say
there is no universal morality. But at least the one that guides us. The one that guides us.
The one that guides you is different from the one that guides me.
Yes, now, but even in law, there are some certain areas that are not universal. The law that applies to Nigeria may not apply to Ghana.
I agree, but we are talking about the law here
when it comes to law, there is no morality in law.
There is no morality. But the action we are talking about is action that has to do with morality.
Listen, I'm not taking sides, but I'm trying to make our viewers understand that two different opinions, very valid arguments. This is on the side of the law. The other is on the side of morality. And there are two parallel lines that can never cross. I've never seen where morality exists in the law. And then when you bring law into morality, it's beaten down. Because, I mean, most times people from the side of morality will look at the people from the side of law as lacking empathy. But that is why. So I'm leaving it up to our viewers to take their sides. I'm very interested to see how this conversation will go. Moving forward to the next story. Inspector General of Police Olatunji Rilwan Disu has presented a comprehensive framework for the establishment of state police to the Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, as part of ongoing constitutional review efforts. The submission made at the National Assembly in Abuja is aimed at advancing discussions on decentralizing Nigeria's policing system. The 75-page document, delivered on behalf of the IGP by Professor Olu Ogunsakin, outlines proposed structures, governance, and coordination mechanisms between federal and state police formations. Titled A Comprehensive Framework for Establishment, Governance, and Coordination of Federal and State Police, the report reflects extensive consultations and addresses legal, administrative, and operational considerations. This will express confidence that the framework would support informed decision-making on national security reforms, while Senator Barau commended the initiative as aligning with President Bola Tinubu's security agenda. He assured that the Senate Committee on Constitutional Review would carefully evaluate the proposal alongside other submissions. Let me start with you on this one. Jamala, what do you make of this?
Yes, the appointment of DC first is to establish this state police. Now, I was told, not sure, that one of the reasons why Egbetoku was asked to step aside was his
he was against the
opposition to this state police policy. Now, you can see the level of speed Disu, right from the day he was sworn in, to the speed at which he is going to fulfill this mandate given to him by Mr. President. What is the intendment of this? We still go political.
Go ahead.
APC now parades of 32, or 32, 31 or 32 state governors. Decentralizing police command structure will make the state governors to have direct control of the various state security architecture.
Yes.
Now, we will not have a commissioner of police in Rivers State, but that will be waiting for IG of police to give a command. And if that command is contrary to what the governor is asking him to do, he obeys the IG of police. Now, by having this state police, it is to the extent that what the governor asks you to do, that is what the police in charge of that state will do, whether they will call it the commissioner of police or they will bring a different nomenclature because the report will suggest. Now, how is it going to affect Tinubu in 2027?
Elections?
Yes, elections.
All right.
If this constitutional amendment scales through and police structures are established within the state, it's like we are decentralizing militancy in the various states to handle political activities. The past elections, you see how you have seen the role of the police with respect to how their actions tilted favoring one part of the ruling class. That is the reason why Tinubu is bringing in state police, is to help the state governors secure their territories, and for whose benefit? His own benefit. Nigeria, I say, yes, we may need state police, local government police, where they call it county police, for the security of our people because of our number. It is a noble idea, but politically we are not mature enough to have that structure in place, where you see opponents will be running away from the various states. If state police comes, we are going to have one-party system in the various states, where voice of opposition will be subdued. You cannot just local government. Look at what they are using OSPAC to do in the name of security, using OSPAC to intimidate perceived political opponent. That will be the functions of the state police. It's not purely for security reasons. And I believe if they succeed in doing this, after 2027, a constitutional review will come again to say, okay, let's go back to the status quo. So it is purely about politics, not for the general good. Because if the police structure we have now is being abused by the federal government, look at the various states' high courts being manipulated by the state governors. Look at the various state SEC, that is local government.
The CX.
The
electoral bodies.
Yes, look at how states abuses those.
Winner takes it all elections.
Exactly, whatever they decide. So it is not going to augur well for us. I don't know the type of functions the state police will do in the various states. What is the dimension between the federal police? To what extent can they carry out their duties? I have advocated that everything on the exclusive list should be that of the federal police. Everything on the concurrent list should be that of states.
Yeah.
But where there is an interstate commission of offense,
overlapping,
yes, interstate, then the federal police can come in at that material point. Assuming there is armed robbery going on in somewhere in Omorelu, leading to Owerri, and the robbers succeed in moving into Owerri territory, which of the police will go after them? Is it the Rivers police?
They will now, maybe they will form joint Owerri and Omorelu tax force.
No, that is not the federal police. that is not the federal police.
There will be interboundary police, joint boundary police.
There are federal highways. Now, that will be the functions of the federal police.
Yes.
Then once the culprits are caught, they will hand it over to where the offense was committed, and that is the state police to prosecute. But it will not augur well if this thing is passed before 2027 elections.
All right, you've looked at it from the angle of politics.
Yes, it's politics.
Let's bring in a little bit of security into it as well.
Yes, yes.
And how federal police has, played the role of protector of lives and properties so far. Now, recall that one of the cries of Zamfara state governor, just as some other northern governors, has always been that they are not in control of security structure and the chain of command. So most times when they even get intelligence of an impending attack, if from the higher chain of command instruction is not given that the police will not move, the military will not move.
Yeah.
In another case, I think it was Kebbi State, was it Kebbi State governor, when a kidnap was done in a secondary school in the state, and I think it was Kebbi State governor, the governor came out to ask that question openly, that the DSS had given information ahead of time that this attack was going to happen. And 30 minutes to the scheduled time, they withdrew. And he was not asking who told the military to withdraw, right? Now, in cases like that, if these governors, probably governors who are willing to fight insecurity, are in control of the security architecture in their states, do you think that insecurity would have escalated to the extent
whatever vested interests that exist in any environment that prevented the federal police from functioning?
We also prevent the
that same vested interest will subsume the state interests. I see a place where there is genuity in the persons, like during the times of Amechi, when he said he gave it back to back with the militants in that. And there was a collaboration because politics has not gotten to this extent. If it to be now, a call will come from, I've tried working with a Eleme local government chairman, where some guys were arrested with guns. They arrested them, sent them to the police up to zone 16. But calls came from national that these persons be released. Now, that same line of practice will still exist in our various state. The question is of whose interest? Get me right. I'm not saying state police is not good, but we have not mature enough. We are not mature enough politically.
You're looking at political
maturity. Yeah, I'm looking at political maturity where the governor, notwithstanding his performances, where someone is coming to contest against him, what happened to Farah Dagogo in 2023 will not happen to anybody.
Okay.
What was the sin of Farah Dagogo? That he was labeled a terrorist and sent to prison for an adjournment taken for how many months, only to be released after the elections has come and gone. So imagine that kind of person having the apparatus of state police with him. What do you think? Okay, look at what happened in 2023. The political parties were unable to perform, take their campaigns to the nooks and crannies of River State. And because this person was working in line with the agenda of the center.
Right.
And so the national police covered. Then picture a scenario where he calls the shots. for the state police. It is a very good idea, but the kind of politics we play now in Nigeria will not allow these institutions to function. Tell me a state institution that is functioning independent of the governor, independent of the wishes of the governor.
All right.
None.
All right. Interesting position there. Nze, what do you make of this one?
We have several questions to ask, or perhaps several questions seeking answers. If we said that state police will carry out the biddings of Mr. Governor, whose biddings is the federal police carrying? That person that is there as the commander-in-chief who gives directives to the police is a Nigerian and hails from a locality. He is not a Nigerian born in Aso Rock. He's a Nigerian from a remote village somewhere that finally found himself in Aso Rock. I commend IGP Disu for pushing for this. Honestly, over time, I have been advocating for establishment of state police. Number one, fought against that. Several bills came up and never scaled through. Till finally they came up, I think that should be either last year or last 2 years, Nigerian Coast Guard, which I think early last year we saw accelerated hearing from the Senate on that. And finally at the level of committee, we saw a lot of people from Nigerian Navy, both past and present Chief of Naval Staff, coming to condemn it as a duplication of function. But these things are just to produce security, because if there is no loopholes, if we are not seeing incompetence in handling some of the security aspect in these areas, we won't be calling for things like this. So you discover that after the Senate had finished their work on Nigerian Coast Guard, up to today, we have not heard anything about it. For over, if I would say, 8 months now, going to 1 year.
But this is different.
No, I am coming now. I'm holding the floor. I'm coming. Now that we've come to Nigerian police, establishing a state police, what do we want? That's the question. If you are saying that the state governors, will use the arms of this federal police, why won't they, if I may ask? Instead, what the Senate is supposed to do, what National Assembly is supposed to do, is to, in this framework, put up laws that will protect the citizens, also reduce the excesses of Mr. Governor in terms of overreach. Also, state police, we have some limitation and some level of respect for the citizens of the land. It will be very nice, it will benefit us more, because the level of insecurity in Nigeria is bothering me.
How is it possible that, what law would they put to stop overreach of the governor, according to you, when is state police, the governors will be in charge of the welfare of the police?
Good.
And this around, it's also possible the governor will have a hand in appointment, right?
The committee will suggest.
Okay, the committee will suggest.
State police, yes, the governor should be the one to announce who leads the state police.
Of course, now, so which means the governor has influence.
Yes.
The governor has influence over the activities of the police, and the governor may be responsible for funding.
He's the one responsible.
No, not may be.
In Nigeria, so far, hasn't it always been he that pays the piper, dictates the tune?
No, now get me where I'm coming from.
I need to understand.
If this man, if Laurentia today is the executive governor of this state, we voted you. You are in charge of our economy. You are in charge of our security. Why would you be in charge of the police? If the way I'm talking about the law protecting the people and also curbing some excesses of the governor, is that there should be clauses
All right.
here and there that in a situation like this, in a situation like this, in a situation like this, in a situation, I am not in the lawmaking business today, except by tomorrow if I get there. But if these laws are in place, it will guide the governor and the functions of the police. Do you know that if the state police comes, the possibility that most of the people who are serving their local government as state police officers may likely come from Obiapo local government.
It's OSPAC now, they will recruit OSPAC.
Now, I'm coming. Whether it's OSPAC or whatsoever.
That makes it worse, doesn't it?
I am coming.
It makes it worse.
Even when you talk about
make it better.
you know that when you talk about OSPAC,
I'm talking about
in as much as there are certain excesses we see in people, that's just like when they say that absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you give some people gun without proper training, they misuse the gun. Number two, when people see themselves as being feared by the people, they begin to lord it over the people. We see in some foreign countries where police will intercept somebody. So long as you know you are standing in your right, police can't go beyond that.
Are we developed?
Now, we are we not humans? If we can go to their countries and stay and live and obey their law and come back here and you're telling me we've not developed, I can't right.
One would wonder now at the chain of command because of police brutality, police violence that goes on. Now, the way it is here, a police brutalizes you, you report to the police response unit or you meet the PPRO of your state and police starts that investigation. Now, many times when the police are found guilty, if the matter is escalated to the IG, most of these police officers are dismissed. Now, if a state governor who has control of the state police is now the one telling them to go and perpetrate that violence for his own political reason, who will call them
then
to
the
order?
law should go against him now.
Who
will call them to order? Who will punish them? Who would the police? The police fear now to?
Laurentia, we have cases where the police on broad daylight perpetrate atrocities in the state. Now, one or two will be tried. It is the power of the governor to send the attorney general to go and withdraw a case, to go and discontinue a case.
Okay.
And so when this set of persons, the one I said they asked to release in Zone 16 is a political actor that I have to call. Now, if you and I, if you are not that high to get to a political high and mighty that will call, we'll rot in jail.
Are Nigerians not rotting in jail today?
But
the federal police is operating?
The argument
what will we see in the state will be far worse.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. If our state governors can begin to learn something.
You're speaking ideologically. Had you been things are working the way you should?
That's why we are in the studio talking, so as to educate the people.
In the real sense of it, how many Nigerian governors are truly responsible in the real sense of it?
We have some of them.
Well, I will start judging them by what they have done in their states. How many of them didn't rig their way into office? At the state level, local government level, we should even use local government elections as a yardstick. Local government elections where the governors are controlling the SIEC. And whenever they see, I am yet to see a free and fair local government election conducted by the state electoral body. Who is in charge of the state electoral body? The governor. Who appoints the commissioner of the SIEC? The governor. Who pays the SIEC? The governor.
Do you know that
why
in
would local
Nigeria
government election be free and fair? And if we are to use that as a yardstick to look at what is going to happen, just like Jamala is saying, in the case of state police, the future is very scary. While to a large extent, for 1 million governors, especially in the north, we may say, okay, to a large extent, they are going to use this positively to combat insecurity and crime.
Same for their political.
But they will still use it and they might use it for their political opponents. Yes. So it's a situation where it is possible that with the state police, there will be gross infringement on fundamental human rights.
I don't believe
like
that.
the right
I don't
to
believe that.
the right to freedom of expression.
I don't believe that. Because
the right to freedom. And I think
for.
journalists at this point should be the ones speaking, shouting the loudest. Because probably to be a situation where journalists will be
we're in this
and
case
they will come in and arrest you, and guess what?
The political appointee move into a live program.
Yeah, it has happened over time. We've had a case where
Impunity from
we've had a case where
covering on federal police.
Under the custody of his boss.
we've had a case where journalists have been
Federal
tear
police.
gas. And imagine when it is. It's a pleasure having you. I wish I had more time for this show today.
Thank you
very much. It was quite
much.
interesting. And thank you so much, Inze, for coming. It's also a pleasure.
Give us state police. That's my plea. Give us state police.
I'm sure they've heard you. People like Senator Jibril and this will be very, very happy to hear that from you. Thank you very much. I think there are people still on the masses will be on the side of Jamala. A lot of them.
No, my only concern is that no matter what we say here today against state police,
it will come to pass. Because Senate has made a promise to the president. Whatever you present before us, we will do. This is the 10th Senate that we have. A Senate that does the bidding of the executive. Until they do otherwise, I mean, it is what it is. Thank you very much, Nze, for coming. Thank you, Jamala.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Avias, for always staying connected to us. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. I remain Laurentia Ugu. See you same time tomorrow. Bye for now.